What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for the first predicted lineup of the season. Tottenham against Manchester City, and my God, what a big one it is for the first game of the season. How are you feeling coming into this one?
Look, I'm excited. I think we're in a position where unless we get battered, there's not much expectation for us going into this game. So I think that I'm confident that we can get a kind of a draw at least in this game. I think Nuno hopefully has got the team fitter. He's got the team sharper. Hopefully, even though the squad hasn't improved that much over the summer as of yet, I think having Nuno at the helm with a more aggressive style could help us in this game in particular. So I'm confident going into this game we can get a result. I'm happy with the way things are going. There's still a lot of work to go over the long term for the season, but I think with our strike force going to this game, how quick they are, I think I'm feeling good about it.
Interesting. I mean, in terms of team news, what is the team news going into the first game of the season?
Yeah, so Dele doesn't look like he's going to be involved. Nuno speaking about him in his press conference saying he doesn't seem too ready for competition just yet. Harry Kane is going to be assessed tomorrow, whether he's going to be ready or not. We'll have to wait and see on that one. He's come back to training on Friday. Romero is fully fit and will be assessed on Saturday as well. So a few injury worries as well. Japhet Tanganga, he's also one who limped off against Arsenal, but Nuno said he's back in training and is in contention for Sunday. So a few worries to contend with, but by and large we got most of our players available.
All right, well, let's get into the predicted lineup. We're going to go for a 4-2-3-1 formation, or 4-3-3. In goal, Hugo Lloris. Obviously Hugo Lloris, I mean, he hasn't played much in pre-season. He played the last game, I think he played about 60 minutes, didn't he, against Arsenal. Golini came in. Golini has impressed me pre-season.
He has had a brilliant game against Chelsea. Didn't have too much to do against Arsenal the last half an hour, though he made a good save against Saka. So I've got no qualms about him coming in at the moment. But Lloris, obviously our number one. Looks like it's his swan song. One last ride, one last dance for Lloris this season. Maybe he can win something with us. But hopefully he can start the season strongly, and he's definitely going to be starting as our captain.
Right back. I thought I put Japhet Tanganga there, but it says Matt Doherty. But we're going for Japhet, aren't we?
We are going for Tanganga, so it's a bit annoying that Doherty's playing there. That's a shame. But Japhet Tanganga goes at right back. Hopefully he's fully fit. Played a great game against Arsenal. I think in this game specifically, I think if we were playing a lesser team, Doherty would be playing. But I think because we're playing the likes of Man City, we're going to need all hands on deck defensively. And I just feel like right now Tanganga's less of a liability defensively than Doherty is. Although I'm still not convinced Tanganga's long-term future right back. I think he's the best option for now.
Next to him in the centre-back partnership, first centre-back, we're going for Christian Romero to make his debut.
Yeah, it's a big shout. It's rare whether or not he's fully fit. It's seeing if we're going to predict he is going to be fully fit, and if he is, I think he comes straight in. I think he's one of those players comes with a lot of expectation of him being our saviour. Hopefully Nuno sees that he's ready to come straight in and make an instant impact. It's a bit of a risk because he hasn't had much training with the team, but sometimes you just got to chuck someone in the deep end, and this might be one of those times. And next to him, as a new manager comes in, a player always gets a new lease of life, and that player is usually Eric Dyer, and we're putting him straight back in. I mean, he's been more or less ever present in the pre-season. He's been captain for the majority of pre-season as well. So I think Eric Dyer will start this one. Yeah, because if Romero is going to come in, I think you need a more experienced head. I don't think you can partner him with Rodon and expect him to kind of marshal the back line. You're going to need some experienced people who are used to playing with the rest of the back four, and Dyer fits that description. And hopefully, he's had some good games against City in the past. Hopefully he can step up on the opening day of the season, and I predict him to start.
And then left back, Sergio Reguilon. I mean, he started to come in during pre-season, and I thought he did fairly well.
He has. He's done really well so far in pre-season. I really think he could up his game massively under Nuno. He really likes to use the fullbacks. He likes to press them high, and he likes to get them in attacking positions. So I think Reguilon could really thrive under that system. And I'm really looking forward to how he plays on Sunday. He pocketed Mahrez back at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium back in December. Hopefully he can do the same again.
In the centre-back, in the centre midfield, we're going to go for Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, ever present. Was he ever present last year? He didn't miss a Premier League game, did he?
Not to my knowledge, I don't think he did.
He played every single Premier League game last year to a high standard for the most part, and he is going to be so important for us this season, especially in this game.
Yeah, massively, and he's going to need to really lead the team, be the Roy the Rovers kind of player in this game if we're going to get anything out of it. He's going to have to be at his absolute best, not just on the pitch, but obviously on the pitch, but not just in his role, but in the leadership thing of the team, making sure everyone's doing their job, making sure he's barking orders, and he's going to have to do a crucial role in the midfield.
And alongside him, a massive opportunity for Ollie Skipp, come in from his brilliant loan spell at Norwich, but for him to come in his first game in the Premier League this season against the Manchester City side that are champions, what a big occasion it is for him.
Massive to start this game. We're predicting it, and it could really set the tone for his season if he plays really well. I think for me, I think he has to approach this game with no pressure. I think he has to approach this game knowing that even if he is outclassed, even if they do get the better of him, that he's a young player, he's still learning his trade, and we can't judge him too quickly. So I think for me, I don't want to see anyone getting on Skipp's back if things don't go his way in this game. I just want to see Skipp, and if things do go well, it can really show that he really means business this season. That's the important thing. So I'm really hoping for a big performance from Skipp, but by and large, I know what I'm going to get in terms of effort, desire, hunger, and passion.
Yeah, 100%. On the right-hand side of the attack, we're going to go for Lucas Moura. He's played really well in this pre-season. Definitely one of our standout players for this pre-season so far. Nuno seems to really like him, and he seems to be adding different parts to his game now as well.
Yeah, he could be very crucial in this game, considering his dribbling ability. He has that ability which, even against the very best teams, he can skip past players with ease. And he showed that in the Carling Cup final when we lost 1-0. He was brilliant that day. He really caused City a lot of trouble, despite the fact we didn't score. He was our biggest danger man. Whenever he got the ball, he seemed to make something happen.
He was pretty much the only one, wasn't he?
So I think in this kind of game, he usually, in big games as well, can put in a good performance. So I'm hoping Lucas can provide what we need. And as well, the way this game is going to go, when in terms of options from deep to kind of break the lines, not only from a passing perspective, from a dribbling perspective, he could be very, very crucial, because there are other players that we're going to talk about in a minute. They like to kind of run into space, and that's also important. But sometimes you need a player to beat the high press that the City are obviously going to give to us, and Lucas is that player.
Yeah. In the middle, it was a toss-up between Giovanni Lo Celso and Dele Alli, but we have gone for Giovanni Lo Celso because we feel like this game does suit Giovanni much more than it does a Dele. I know Dele has been, hot and cold in pre-season, but for the most part I think he's been good, Dele, in pre-season. But I feel like a game against Man City where we'll see a lot less of the ball than maybe a Wolves or a Watford, I think that Lo Celso should really come into this game, and he came on against Arsenal and played really well.
Yeah, I think it will be disappointing from Dele's point of view not to get a start.
Long season ahead, though.
Exactly. And there'll hopefully be more opportunities. I think Lo Celso just provides more for the team off the ball, and then we're going to need that against the City side. And unfortunately, Dele, as much as I think he's been good in pre-season, defensively I actually think he's been solid, and I think creatively he stepped it up as well. I just feel like there's only so much he can give defensively in terms of Lo Celso has that ability to really be a lot stronger in the centre, whereas Dele can try, but it's just it's bound to happen where he'll lose his man at some point. Not his own fault. It's just not his natural game. So
he's got that Argentinian grit about him, doesn't he?
And Lo Celso does that. So Dele doesn't quite have that bite in the tackle that Lo Celso does. So I feel like Lo Celso's cameo, hopefully against Arsenal, might have convinced Nuno that he's ready to start. He had a good Copa America, and you know what? He might only last an hour when Dele comes on, and that might be the case. But I think Lo Celso is going to start. And
then on the left-hand side, Stevie Wonder. The boy wonder, Steven Bergwijn, with 1 goal last season. This is a massive season for Steven Bergwijn. When he first came into Tottenham, his debut was against Man City. He scored a brilliant goal against them, and you got a call for him to have that same mentality coming into this game.
Yeah, he also had a good game when we beat them 2-0 back in December. Defensively, he was actually pretty solid that game, and this will also similar to other players. It could really be a game where it sets the tone for him this season. If he can get off to a positive start, get an assist or a goal, and really take the game to Man City, or beat a few players or have a few shots on goal, that could really give him the confidence to start the season in the right way. And last season obviously went very badly at the end last season, which was a massive shame, and I think it drained his confidence. But hopefully Nuno can give that back, and with Gil waiting in the wings, hopefully there's also a little bit of added pressure for him to know that he needs to perform to stay in the team.
Yeah, I think that Stevie will be. I mean, he should have gained confidence with the amount of praise, or I don't know how much direct praise is given him, but it's seen in the press that Nuno really rates Steven Bergwijn and really thinks he has a big future. So that should give Stevie some confidence going into this season. And if he gets a lot of minutes early doors, then maybe he can shape up for a really big season, Steven Bergwijn.
Definitely.
And then up front, we're going to play the Manchester City killer Heung-min Son. Loves a goal against Man City. And more times than not, when we do beat Man City, Harry Kane's not on the pitch and Heung-min Son is in that position.
And he's a crucial element to if we can win this game or not. He's going to have to be the best player on the pitch, unfortunately. We're going to have to rely on him for goals. That's the reality, and we know he can get goals against Man City. His skill set is pretty much perfect for how City kind of play. His ability to run in behind, his long range ability as well for a shooting range. So massive game for Son. I think we saw in pre-season how he's looking to take more and more responsibility in the team and everything. Hopefully we see a bit more of that, but we need to make sure that when we get on the ball, he is on his bike. Yeah. That's the main thing, because that space in behind ain't going to fill itself, and we need him to be filling that space. So big game for Sonny. Him up front could, there's very few teams that Sonny up front will work, and I think Man City is one of those teams where if Son is up top, he's always going to have a chance to. If we play the right ball, he is in.
100%. So let me just run through that team with you one more time. So that's Hugo Lloris in goal, Japhet Tanganga right back, albeit it says Doherty on the screen, Reguilon left back, Dyer and Romero in a centre-back partnership, Skipp and Højbjerg in the middle, Bergwijn, Lo Celso and Lucas just behind Heung-min Son. And it's also worth noting in terms of this formation, Lo Celso is going to be, in our formation, is going to be a bit further back than he is on that pitch there.
Yeah, well, I think we see Højbjerg the deepest with Skipp and Lo Celso either side of him. That's probably how we see it. And then as well, worth noting, will we see Kane on the bench? We'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see on that one.
What's our prediction?
My prediction is yes.
I'm going to go yes as well. Kane on the bench.
Does he come on?
I'm going to go yes.
You say yeah, I'm going to go no. Yes. I'm going to go no. And score predictions, I went 2-1 in the earlier videos that you would have seen, and my brother did go 2-2. He's going for a Desmond. I want to know your score predictions in the comment section below. I want to know your predicted lineups in the comment section below. And I want to know, is Harry Kane going to be on the bench? Is he going to be starting, or is he not going to be involved at all? I want to know your answers in the comment section below. Let's get up for this one. It's the first game of the season. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.